And good evening and welcome to this edition of VS. It is Versus on this Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Episode number 7 is upon us. Yes, it is. And we're here ready to go for another edition. And of course, I am Jason DeCanio. You see my name there, but I'll bring it up to you so you can study it even more. Bifocals sometimes do that, you know? I don't know why it does. Well, anyways, I hope you're enjoying this program as much as I am. Enjoy giving you the history of your favorite topics, contrasting them with their competitors. Last time on the program, we saw the Atari versus the ColecoVision. And because it's now been almost 12 days to the date here, where were we last week? Well, first of all, let me explain that I had my aunt in town. Second of all, let me also explain that Hurricane Milton decided to grace us with his presence. So we took a week off, not just for the hurricanes, but to also celebrate my 47th birthday. So I wanted to, spend time with my family, and I enjoyed it, but also had to prepare for a hurricane. In fact, we had to prepare for Hurricane Helene as well, too, but not as bad as Milton. I'll give you more little details about that on the nightly news as we go along. So, at the time of this recording, this is episode number 7. You get to vote on 2 great topics of contrast. And tonight we've got 2 interesting ones. Let's go to south of the border, folks. That's right. It's Taco Bell versus Del Taco in a battle of who reigns supreme, who has the better burrito and the border sauce, as they call it. We'll see what happens when we come back with our first look at Taco Bell right after these important messages.
A plumber cutting my hair.
You wanted to test liquid plumber against the other leading liquid drain opener. Well, what's one of the most common causes of clogged drains?
Hair.
Right. So into the liquid plumber, into the other brand.
Liquid plumber dissolved the hair. The other didn't.
Liquid plumber has 2 fast-acting ingredients. One for grease, one for hair. The other doesn't.
Great, but next time you prove liquid plumber's best, use your own hair.
In our great sport, there are people who bowl and there are bowlers. The difference is right here in my hand, the American Bowling Congress membership card. Without standards or rules enforced by ABC, what do our accomplishments really mean? The greatest bowlers of all time have always been ABC members. It's important because it provides the credibility we all need. So when you go bowling, make sure you ask to compete in an ABC-sanctioned league or tournament. It's your assurance that you really are a bowler and not just going bowling. Let's go bowling with ABC.
Frank, you're on.
Hi, we're here at Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips to get the inside scoop on their new chicken and chips dinner. How's that chicken, fella?
Fantastic.
Right, but what makes it so fantastic?
It's all white meat, but moist.
It's boneless. And clear crunchy outside.
That's the big story, America. Another great meal you can't make at home from Arthur Treacher's original chicken and chips.
That's fish and chips, Frank.
Just testing you guys.
In 1986, we also introduced the next generation of video game systems, the new 7800, and it was an immediate smash hit. Early in 87, new super game titles like one-on-one basketball, Winter Games, and Sky Fox will be released to take advantage of the 7800's great graphics, lifelike animation, and superb sound effects. Plus, there will be other hot new titles from such top software companies as Activision, Electronic Arts, Rotorbund, and Epix. And at under $100, the 7800 is one of the best home entertainment values in the world. That's why we're telling millions of consumers that Atari has reinvented the video game.
Duracell batteries can keep all the toys and electronic games in your home running a lot longer. In fact, tests prove that after just a few hours of continuous use, regular carbon batteries wear out. But depending on the toy, Duracell batteries can last up to 6 times longer. So keep your toys and electronic games running longer with Duracell. The copper top battery. No regular battery looks like it or lasts like it.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. Buy your copy at B. Dalton's, Walden Books, or wherever paperbacks are sold. A fresh look at today's problems.
All right. The history of Taco Bell goes something like this. Taco Bell was founded by Glenn Bell, who was an entrepreneur who first opened a hot dog stand called Bell's Drive-In in San Bernardino, California in 1948. Well, Bell watched long lines of customers at a Mexican restaurant called the Matilda Cafe, or the Mitla Cafe, located across the street, which became famous among residents for its hard-shell tacos. Bell attempted to reverse engineer the recipe, and eventually the owners allowed him to see how the tacos were made. He took what he had learned and opened a new stand in 1951. The name underwent several changes from Tacotilla through El Taco before settling on Taco Bell. Now, Glenn Bell opened the first Taco Bell in 1962 at 7112 Firestone Boulevard in Downey, California. Currently, there is a Taco Bell location across the street at 7127 Firestone Boulevard in Downey. The original location was a 400-square-foot building about the size of a 2-car garage and was built with mission-style arches that covered a small walk-up window that served the original menu items, which is tostadas, burritos, frijoles, chili burgers, and tacos, all for 19 cents, $2 and $23. The first restaurant closed in 1986, while the building was saved from demolition November 19, 2015, and was moved 45 miles to the Taco Bell corporate office at 1 Glen Bell Way in Irvine, California, and is currently stored intact on the corporate parking lot premises and known as Taco Bell Numero Uno. In 1964, the first franchise was purchased by former police officer Kermit Beck. This location, located at 1654 West Carson Street in Torrance, California, had its grand opening on May 28th of 1965. Beck sold his franchise a year and a half later, and this location, now the Tamale Man, closed in 1975 when it moved across the street to store number 1130 at 1619 West Carson Street, which itself would close in the late 1990s and then subsequently be repurposed into Alfredo's Mexican food. In 1967, the 100th grand opening took place at the location at 400 South Brookhurst in Anaheim, which was later replaced by a new restaurant at 324 South Brookhurst in 1993. The first location east of the Mississippi River, the 270th to open, store number 258, opened at 2050 East Main Street in Springfield, Ohio on September 20th, 1968. Original Taco Bells only featured walk-up windows without indoor seating or drive-through service, and former original Taco Bell locations still survive while having been repurposed frequently as other Mexican restaurants. 9 locations remain in the original mission style as Taco Bell, all of which are in California, Arizona, Colorado, and Hawaii. In 1970, Taco Bell went public with 325 restaurants. The corporate office has had a few locations and previously maintained an office at 2516 Villa Tejon in Palos Verdes, then at 2424 Morton Street in Torrance, before settling into Irvine more than 40 years ago in 1976 at 17901 Von Carmen Avenue. Then in 1978, PepsiCo purchased Taco Bell from Glen Bell. Several locations in the Midwestern United States were converted from Zydeco, a Minneapolis, Minnesota-based Mexican chain, which PepsiCo acquired in 1986. In 1990, the Hot and Now chain was acquired. Taco Bell sold Hot and Now to a Connecticut company in 97. In 91, Taco Bell opened the first Taco Bell Express in San Francisco. The Taco Bell Express locations operate primarily inside convenience stores, truck stops, shopping malls, and airports. Taco Bell began co-branding with KFC in 1995. One of the first such co-branded opened in Clayton, North Carolina. The chain has since co-branded with Pizza Hut and Long John Silver's as well. In 1997, PepsiCo experimented with a new fresh grill concept, opening at least one Border Bell restaurant in Mountain View, California, on El Camino Real, State Road 82. Close to the time that PepsiCo spun off its restaurant business in 1997, the Border Bell in Mountain View was closed and converted to a Taco Bell restaurant, which was still open in 2018. In September of 2000, up to 50 million worth of Taco Bell branded shells were recalled from supermarkets. The shells contained a variety of genetically modified corn called Starlink that was not approved for human consumption. Starlink was approved only for use in animal feed because of questions about whether it can cause allergic reactions in people. It was the first ever recall of genetically modified food, or GMO, and corn was not segregated at grain elevators, and the miller in Texas did not order that type either. In 2001, Tricon Global announced a $60 million settlement with the suppliers. They stated that it would go to Taco Bell franchisees and TGR would not take any of it. PepsiCo spun out Taco Bell and its other restaurant chains in late 1997 in Tricon Global Restaurants. With the purchase of Yorkshire Global Restaurants, the owner of A&W and Long John Silver chains, Tricon changed its name to Yum Brands on May 16, 2002. Then in March of 2005, the coalition of Immokalee workers won a landmark victory in its national boycott of Taco Bell for human rights. Taco Bell agreed to meet all the coalition's demands to improve wage and working conditions for Florida tomato pickers in its supply chain. After 4 years of boycott, Taco Bell and Yum Brands agreed to make an agreement called the CIW Yum Agreement with representatives of CIW at Yum Brands headquarters. Taco Bell began experimenting with fast casual and urban concepts when it created U.S. Taco Company and Urban Tap Room in 2014, reflecting a market shift due to the popularity of Chipotle Mexican Grill. The menu consisted of tacos with American fillings and did not sell the food sold in Taco Bell restaurants, such as burritos. It was launched in Huntington Beach, California in August of 2014. U.S. Taco Company closed on September 15, 2015, so the company could focus on its new similar Taco Bell Cantina concept, which featured special menu items and served alcohol. But it opened its first location a few days later in Chicago's Wicker Park neighborhood, followed by a location in San Francisco about a month later, located less than a block away from AT&T Park. In 2016, Taco Bell launched the Taco Bell Cantina flagship store located on the Las Vegas Strip. The 24-hour restaurant serves alcohol, unique menu items, and features a DJ. It was announced in August of 2017 that the store would begin hosting weddings. Taco Bell Cantina currently has locations in San Francisco, Berkeley, Chicago, 2 locations, Vegas, Austin, Fayetteville, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Atlanta, Newport Beach, San Diego, San Jose, Nashville, and with plans to open soon in Somerville, Massachusetts. In March of 2020, Taco Bell announced that it would be converting 3 of its suburban stores into cantinas this year as part of a test run. March of 2016, Taco Bell introduced private beta testing of an artificial intelligence bot on the messaging platform Slack, designed to take orders of select menus items from its local Taco Bell locations and have the orders delivered. Taco Bell planned to have a wider rollout of this functionality in the coming months. Previously, Taco Bell's hot sauces were only available in packets at the chain itself. But then in February of 2014, Taco Bell made its hot sauces available at grocery stores, sold in bottles. These would be followed by further grocery store products, including chips in May of 2018 and shredded cheese in 2019. In September of 2016, Taco Bell opened a pop-up in New York City in the Soho, Manhattan area called the Taco Bell VR Arcade. Taco Bell and VR fans could demo PlayStation VR games and food. And then in 2016, Taco Bell built a restaurant out of 5 cargo shipping containers for the Texas Music Festival, South by Southwest. Due to popularity, the franchise decided to move the restaurant to a lot in Southgate, California, and it opened to the public a year later. The restaurant features Taco Bell's full menu with outdoor seating, a walk-up window, and a drive-thru, but no indoor seating unlike regular Taco Bell locations. Taco Bell announced plans in November of 2017 to open 300 more urban and cantina-style locations by 2022, with 50 to be located about New York City's 5 boroughs. In 2019, Taco Bell opened a pop-up hotel called The Bell, a Taco Bell hotel and resort, for one weekend in August. Upon the announcement, the hotel was booked up in 2 minutes. Taco Bell announced plans to stay in its current corporate headquarters in Irvine until 2030. Wow. There you have it, folks. The history of Taco Bell. 1 down, 1 to go. When we come back, we will look at Del Taco right after this.
I like to keep myself sparkling clean and fresh. Now, if you want all-day freshness, there's this new concentrated cleaner called Blue. Just pop Blue in the tank, then every time I flush, I get a Blue detergent rinse that helps clean and deodorize me for up to a month. The tablet dissolves, so there's no dripping mess to remove, and my fingers don't get stained. I tell you, Blue makes me feel brand new. Try concentrated Blue. It's the simplest bowl cleaner yet.
Jack Klugman for Steak-'em all-beef sandwich steaks.
Don't say it like that. You make it sound like just another celebrity endorsement. I mean, how's anyone supposed to know I've been eating Steak-'em for years? I wouldn't buy any other brand. Steak-'em is 100% beef with absolutely no additives, and it tastes so good. Did you know it outsells the leading competition 5 to 1? But if you introduce the commercial like that, how's anyone supposed to know how much I really do love Steak-'em?
I think you just told them, Jack. Steak-'em all-beef sandwich steaks.
Welcome to Hillshire Farm, where great taste is always at home.
So you want to speed up the way we make our Hillshire Farm smoked sausage?
Oh, yes, with high-speed equipment.
Hold on,
but
young man, you can't rush great taste. We hand-select lean cuts of pork and beef and smoke them slowly, gently, for the taste that other sausage just can't beat.
He's right. Try it yourself.
Delicious. I wouldn't change a thing. Hillshire Farm, for our best taste every time.
Gonna dance your whole life away. What about your future? Don't you worry about getting old? He doesn't have to. He has a MetLife retirement plan. MetLife annuities earn tax-deferred interest and guarantee an income for life. What do you say to that? Away? Oh, brother. Get Met. It pays.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
I got it! New York Mets Ticket Center. This is Brandon.
Section 139? Yeah, you can see my hair from there.
Got it. Yeah, it's not a real ghost.
It's not a ghost! No, you hang up. Your tickets are confirmed.
Yes, they're closer.
All right, welcome back to Versus. Episode 7 is upon us. The second half of our program looks now at Del Taco. In the 1960s, the first Del Taco restaurant was opened by Ed Hackbarth and David Jameson in Yermo, California, east of Barstow on September 16, 1964, under the name Casa del Taco. On the first day of business, Del Taco made $169, which is about the equivalent of $1,660 in 2023. Success of the first restaurant led to two in Barstow, one in Needles, and a fifth in Corona, the first Del Taco with a drive-through window. Dick Noggle, who installed the kitchen equipment in the Corona store, was impressed by the design and joined Hochbarth and Jameson in the fledgling business. In 1966, the trio founded Ready Food Systems with the idea of franchising the Del Taco brand. That same year, the original Del Taco sun logo was created, and in 1967, Del Taco introduced their bean and cheese burrito with green or red sauce. Noggle left the company early in the decade to start Noggles. In 1973, the company dropped Casa from its name, and Red E Food Systems became Del Taco Inc. But by that time, the company opened a new restaurant every month. In 1976, Hochbarth and Jameson sold Del Taco to a group of investors. The new owners sold the exclusive rights to use and develop the Del Taco name throughout the U.S., excluding California, Eugene, Oregon, and Yuma, Arizona, to W.R. Grace and Company. Now, Grace, primarily a chemicals company, founded a new company, Del Taco Restaurants, Inc., of Dallas, Texas, and a new subsidiary, DTG, Inc., to oversee the fast food chains it was acquiring. The franchise continued to expand, and in 1977, there were 50 Del Taco restaurants. In 1978, there were 100. In 81, Del Taco had approximately 350 restaurants located almost exclusively in California. February of 1989, Del Taco merged their restaurants with 171 Noggles Mexican fast food outlets. Anwar Solomon was instrumental in the move. He was the mastermind behind the purchase of the rights to expand Del Taco throughout the United States in 1977. With the merger, Del Taco increased in size and spread as far east as Hickory, North Carolina. In the 80s, Del Taco began to stay open all night. In Lake Forest, California, there are two Del Tacos directly across the street from each other on Trabuco Road and El Toro Road. The one at the 22401 El Toro Road address was formerly a Noggles. In Orange, two Del Tacos are across the street from each other in Tustin Avenue. The one with the Lincoln Avenue address was formerly a Nuggles. See the trend? Then in 1990, Kevin K. Moriarty joined Del Taco as CEO, soon becoming the owner of the brand in conjunction with his management team. His team launched efforts to grow the brand's image while improving the total customer experience. In 1992, Del Taco recaptured exclusive rights to its name from W.R. Grace and Company and was able to expand outside of California. Del Taco launched a $14 million program to redesign its restaurant exteriors, kitchens, and corporate logo. The company presented its Concept 2000 restaurant design and in August of 92 introduced its new logo. In place of the orange and blue sunset, there was a yellow sun that rose over green mountains against a red background. These colors represented the primary ingredients of Del Taco food: cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Later that year, executives announced plans to expand the chain to 500 stores by 1995 and to add another 225 by 2000. The first new markets it sought were Las Vegas, Nevada, St. Louis, Missouri, and the Northeast Corridor. Del Taco filed for protection in 1993 under Chapter 11 in U.S. bankruptcy court. Although renovations were made to keep Del Taco profitable, the company continued to pay rent on several unprofitable outlets that had been closed. They also attempted to negotiate lease reductions on other high-cost sites. Also, Del Taco had been sued for $3 million by a former supplier. This was settled out of court. From 94 through 98, Del Taco shrank and then grew. And although the company signed a deal to open 15 franchise stores in the Northeast with many more in the Southeast, the chain was not near the goals publicized earlier. In 1995, Del Taco had 300 stores instead of growing to 500, And the chain began to prosper in 97 when total sales reached an estimated 250 million. By December of 98, Del Taco had 325 stores in 12 states. By 2000, Del Taco had 372 stores located in 10 states. That year, a deal was signed with the company Group PLC that enabled Del Taco stores to open on U.S. military bases. The first to do business was at Pocshewant River Naval Air Station in St. Mary's County, Maryland, in early of 2001. Other Del Tacos were planned for U.S. bases in Puerto Rico and Naples, Italy. In early 2001, a group of former Del Taco employees, all of whom were black, brought a discrimination suit against the chain. The group claimed that while working at Del Taco in the Los Angeles area, they had suffered verbal abuse and had been passed over for promotions in favor of Hispanic workers and were being fired and replaced by illegal immigrants. The case had not been settled. In an effort to improve its reputation, Del Taco launched a sports sponsorship program with teams in 8 U.S. states, including the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and Arizona Coyotes hockey teams, basketball's Los Angeles Clippers and Utah Jazz, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas football and basketball teams, and several minor league hockey and baseball teams. The deal placed the Del Taco logo on signs, drink cups, and special promotional items at the stadia of partner teams. It paid off, as in 2003, Del Taco announced that their restaurants had topped $1 million per store in average annual sales, which was remarkable considering that other U.S. stores, notably McDonald's and Carl's Jr., featured a decrease in annual sales. In 2004, private Nashville, Tennessee-based Sagittarius Brands, LLC, the parent company of Captain D Seafood, purchased Del Taco. In January of 2008, Del Taco announced the opening of its 500th restaurant in Burbank, California. On April 27th of 2009, a new Del Taco opened in Oviedo, Florida. And I know about that one. I'll tell you about it. Marking the first time since the 1980s that Del Taco was available in the Orlando area. Well, this location has since closed. There are 2 other Orlando locations still open. In 2010, Del Taco returned to Texas with a new location in Denton, Texas. W.R. Grace & Company had previously owned and operated locations in Texas with a licensing agreement in 1978, but sold the restaurants to Taco Bell in 1992. Guillermo Paredes, one of the largest Hispanic restaurateurs in the nation, signed a franchisee agreement in 2011 to open additional locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. In 2011, Del Taco opened 4 locations in Colorado, in Denver, and Colorado Springs. It grew to 21 stores across the state. In March of 2012, a location opened in Houston with plans for further expansion in the Houston area, and that location was defunct by May of 2015, including both Harris County and Montgomery County. December of 2012, a Del Taco opened in Cedar Park, Texas. Another was opened in Round Rock, Texas in 2013. Del Taco entered Oklahoma in December of 2013, opening its first store in Moore. Also in 2013, Del Taco entered the River region, adding a restaurant in Montgomery, Alabama, which closed in 2016. And in the summer of 2014, a store opened in Edmond, Oklahoma. Del Taco was purchased by Levy Acquisition Corporation and became a public company on June 30th of 2015. And then in October 2020, Del Taco announced an expansion into the Columbus, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania markets. Del Taco also opened a location in Guam. September 2021, they announced that it would expand into Virginia, starting with the Hampton Roads area, and its first store expected to open in Virginia Beach. In the same month, Del Taco released their new rewards program app called Del Yeah Rewards. And on December 6, 2021, Jack in the Box announced it was acquiring Del Taco, saying the merger will cause both companies to benefit from a stronger financial model, gaining greater scale to invest in digital and technology capabilities, and until growth for both brands and unit growth, that is. The company combined will have more than 2,800 locations across 25 states. The acquisition closed in March of 2022 for about $585 million. And speaking of that, and not to sway anybody's votes, that location in Oviedo, Florida in 2009 was a great convenience for me because it was, other than Steak and Shake, was the only other restaurant in the Oviedo area to be open past midnight and be a 24-hour location. Once it closed, Steak and Shake was the only one. And then the pandemic hit, and then nothing is open past midnight now in Oviedo, in the ghost town. So, not to sway your vote, but I've had experiences in both Taco Bell and Del Taco. I will be making my votes as soon as this program is over. Based on the information you have seen, you now have your choice of Taco Bell or Del Taco. In the meantime, this concludes this episode 7 for October 15, 2024 of Versus, that is. We will see you on Thursday with another contrasting look at two different companies or anything in the matter of the mix. If you have any ideas for the show, please send them along in our page on YouTube and in the group page as well on Jay's All TV and Sports channel. Till then, I'm Jason Icanio. Remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye for